Hi all, this is Yulianna Avdeeva. It's Thursday and it's time for our weekly stream, and I'm today extremely excited to move on to the amazing, absolutely unique Prelude and Fugue in C sharp minor from Book I by Joseph Johann Sebastian Bach, and after that to exchange some thoughts and views on music of Dmitri Shostakovich. And I would be very happy to perform for you some of his preludes from Opus 34. Hi, I hope, because I'm experimenting, making some experiments with my equipment, and I hope that you all see me well and hear. Please let me know if that's not the case. Now I see you. Yes, hello, hello, Carla, hello, Maria, hello, Lizzie, great to see you all here. Hi, Alexis. I'm very well, thank you. And hello, Aria to Denmark. I'm glad that you hear me. Please let me know if something is not quite right, but anyway, now I go on. So today, the C sharp minor Prelude and Fugue, amazing piece, absolutely standing somehow a part of many even masterpieces by Bach himself. Hello to Japan, hello to Finland. Why is that? It's first of all, in this Prelude and Fugue particularly, every note, or generally the meaning is in a grand scale. The meaning, somehow we were talking a lot in our previous sessions about the C sharp minor. Hello, Michael. Hello, Brigitte. Hello, Andrea to Croatia. And hello to Cologne, to Köln, and to Warsaw, of course. Well, so the C sharp minor tonality is, as we know it from Chopin's music, which we were discussing in actually in the very beginning. It's very special color, and it is actually, I wonder, I ask myself whether Bach somehow with his Well-tempered Clavier already gave or anticipated the later coming pieces in this tonality, or it's just he was also already feeling the tonality in this very particular way. Hello to China, and hello Claudio to Mexico, and to Elena, and to Werner. And it is a very special tonality because it has a great dignity, it has a certain sorrow, but it also has a great light, which somehow it's in this Prelude and Fugue, it is really this contrast between the Prelude and Fugue is enormous. Hello, Kent to Italy, and to Chinatsu in Japan. Hello, Rolf. It is the contrast between the Prelude and Fugue is huge, because the Prelude is in a more, it is already in the anticipating also the main character of the very dramatic, very relentless character of the fugue, which is absolutely outstanding. Well, the fugue consists of 5 parts. It's in 5 parts, which is actually very rare even in Well-tempered Clavier by Bach. It's only one of the 2 in the first book. The other one is a B flat minor. It's great to see so many great people here. Hello, Halina and Stan. Hello, Ting Ting. Hello, Carolina. And it is, but I think it's easier. I show it you also in the here on the piano. So the Prelude is, in a way, it's in a very recitativo style, which somehow reminds maybe on the character of the Passions, but it has this very great sorrow, great melancholy, but also something very, some hope, some light in it. So this is actually the idea of this prelude is those 8 notes which are never, it's a melody which never stops, which makes, I think, for me personally, this prelude also particularly difficult, because there are 2 basic versions of this prelude, where the last one with more ornaments in it, which I am using, but the problem is that, of course, the ornaments actually they only serve as some element which is not thematic element, which means it shouldn't take so much attention, but of course, being a performer, it takes attention, it takes energy, and it takes time. So the basic idea, of course, is that this and this melody really never stops. I think what for me particularly in the very end, the cadence, the ending of the prelude is really, because this is already for me the moment when we feel that the character is going to be very, very dark, and this is this modulation. This is already an absolutely unique cadence even in Bach, because it's suddenly in the very end, and instead of going to this C sharp minor, we have this very dramatic modulation before coming back to the C sharp minor. Well, the fugue, let me show it to you. The theme, I'll show you in a second. The theme, the subject, consists only of four notes, which is very rare, that the subject is just such a short, which means that the message of the subject is so extremely compressed, that it's so strong. So basically it is possible in a way to, if you look on these bars on the subject bar, you will see that it is possible to imagine that this is a kind of cross motif, because if you connect those first and last note with the middle ones, you will see a cross. Of course, it's a very special symbolic, which it's difficult, of course, to say how much Bach really, what he really wanted to express with that. But anyway, the character of the music is very, relentless. It's very heavy in a way that it feels like it's something very, a great sorrow, which is, of course, can be of course also thought in a sense of the passion yes, but the idea of the fugue, we have five amazing, we have really 5 parts, and which is already quite difficult, but what is really amazing about this fugue is that after the first part of it, which is about 35 bars, there is a new element comes, which is actually, it's not, well, many people are debating whether it's a second subject or it's just a counter subject. Well, anyway, it's a very important element which up from this bar 36 is always accompanying the first subject. So this is this movement in 8 notes. this is for me already the connection between the prelude and fugue, because this is exactly the same, not this, but this line is also, it never stops. So it's already the general direction of the fugue is very much looking to the final point, which I think maybe also inspired Busoni to talk about this fugue as in about Gothic cathedral, which is really heading to the heaven, to the sky. And the third element, so it can be treated as a triple fugue. This C sharp minor fugue from Book I is actually which makes me really so happy. I mean, this third subject, or this second contra subject, is actually a very commonplace formula, commonplace element, which appears so often in Baroque music, and it's absolutely amazing the way Bach puts this element to this amazing piece of music. And this third element sounds like this, which is actually a very simple element. So Bach, it's an incredible masterpiece, because in a way he connects those three completely different elements. That he brings them into one and develop them in such a grand manner. So it's a absolutely unique, outstanding piece of music. It gets very very grand, very big in an expression, also in coda, where the subjects are coming so close to each other. So it's a stretto moment before, in the end, the very last appearance of the third subject leads us to the C sharp major, and well, this, I mean, so this is the only light which we have in the end after this very dramatic, very tragic piece of music. And yeah, this is something really, for me, it's very moving to play this piece, and I'm very happy to play it for you now. So the C sharp minor Prelude and Fugue from Book I, Joseph. I'm saying Joseph for the second time today. I wonder what that could mean, but however, of course, Johann Sebastian Bach. That was the C sharp minor Prelude and Fugue from Book I. Somehow for me it's a very special feeling which I perceive when I perform it, and I think it's somehow it is something very, very deep. What I feel, which is something, some real sorrow, but on the same time, and this is again coming back to this unique quality of Bach's music. I still feel so much compassion. It's not just very tragic music. It's not just yes, you know, somehow giving up to the fate or something. There is I feel such a great understanding in his music to the people's sorrow, to their yes, when they suffer, but he gives this hope, he gives this feeling of something beyond that, and this is really great. And C sharp minor of indeed is a great, somehow an amazing tonality. Which pieces in C sharp minor come to your mind actually when you hear C sharp minor? One of the first pieces which come to my mind is of course the Moonlight Sonata. Probably it's also a very special mood. I don't know. This is a special color of C sharp minor. What I also was thinking about right now was the second movement from B flat major Schubert Sonata, the last one, which is also in C sharp minor of right. Chopin had two nocturnes. Even Chopin somehow admired the tonality C sharp minor. Another piece which comes up to my mind now is the piece which I like very, very much is Schumann's Etude Symphonique. Well, the symphonic studies is also, it has some grand, very grand expression. I think it's just somehow corresponding also with this Prelude and Fugue in a mood. Rachmaninoff Prelude in C sharp minor, exactly a great another very monumental piece, yes, in a way. Opus 27, number 1 by Chopin, absolutely right, wonderful piece, which I have special memories with. Yes, I also performed Opus 27, number 1 at the Chopin competition, and that's a very I think C sharp has just somehow very special, deep mood, but also with some light in it. Right, the string quartet, Opus 131, correct, very good. Another piece, unusual piece, which comes to my mind now is Prokofiev's Symphony number 7, which is composed also in C sharp minor, piece which symphony which I like very, very much. Hiroko, sometimes, well, it's not like I really see colors, but I think that some tonality, or let's say the composer's choice of a particular tonality is definitely it has already it gives us a link. It gives us already the idea of the character of the piece. I think this is for sure. And of course, once we know many pieces in particular tonalities, of course we have our own vision of the meaning of it. But yes, now I said already something about Prokofiev, but now I would like to come to the another great, absolutely fantastic giant composer of 20th century, Dmitri Shostakovich. And I think, yeah, it's just, for me, it was so exciting again to discover these sometimes hidden, sometimes less hidden, but these connections between the composers there, how they reflect each other, how they link. So the quote which I recently found from Shostakovich regarding Bach. I think I have a wonderful book here, a wonderful book about Shostakovich. Well, it's in Russian. It's written by Krzysztof Meyer, a wonderful Polish composer and musician, and he also met Shostakovich personally. So this is a quote from this book. It is in Russian, but the idea of what Shostakovich was thinking about Bach is that Bach's music was of a certain special, very important meaning for him, and that Shostakovich himself every day played some pieces by Bach, and that the connection with Bach's music gave so much personally and emotionally to Shostakovich. And I think it's somehow, it's maybe it was a coincidence, but maybe not, that there are not so many composers who decided to write such a cycle like 24 preludes and fugues. Do you have any other ideas who composed another 24 preludes and fugues besides Shostakovich and Bach? So the interesting fact is that also what actually inspired, in a way, to compose, what inspired Shostakovich to compose his preludes and fugues, absolutely unique piece, in my unique cycle, in my opinion, Opus 87. It was 1950, and Shostakovich was also invited to the festival, which was dedicated to Bach's 200th anniversary of Bach's death in Leipzig, and he was there, and he also was judging, one of the jury members of the first Bach competition, where Tatiana Nikolaeva prepared, also, although it was not required, but she herself prepared 48 preludes and fugues by Bach, so everybody could. So she was ready to play anyone, any of 48 of preludes and fugues by Bach, and Shostakovich was so impressed by her playing. So she won the competition, but anyway, Shostakovich being in Leipzig, somehow that was the point when he already decided to compose the preludes and fugues, and he composed the Opus 87 in a very, very short period of time. And of course, Tatiana Nikolaeva he dedicated them to her, and I think it's it's just a great, I think it's a great moment, just that some performers as well can also inspire great composers to compose certain pieces. Second movement from the second piano concerto, Dario, yes, that's right. That's somehow it's very. It reminds me in a way on Chopin as well, which I will be coming right now. Ben, I'm not sure that Shostakovich was, from what I know, he was not planning to do the second book, but I think the Opus 87 itself is it's just absolutely, it is composed. The composition itself is built on different principle. It's actually more. It's on based on the principle of the quinth circle, so not like the chromatic scale, like the Well-tempered Clavier, but more like Chopin preludes. So we have parallel minor and quinth circle, and not the chromatic scale like in Bach. But yes, I've already said that the second movement of second piano concerto somehow reminds me on Chopin, and for me it is an absolutely amazing fact that Dmitri Shostakovich participated in the first Chopin competition in Warsaw in 1927. You know, knowing that is somehow, for me, it's an amazing thought, just, you know, to imagine that Shostakovich somehow, or I, not Shostakovich, or yes, I myself somehow had the same experience in my life as Shostakovich did. So Shostakovich was a great performer, great pianist. There are unfortunately no recordings of Shostakovich playing Chopin from the competition, but thanks God we have some other recordings of himself playing the piano concertos, or also some of the selection of preludes and fugues. So Shostakovich was a fantastic pianist, and being a young man, he in 1927 he came to Warsaw, and I know there are some documents proving what he was playing. He played, for instance, some preludes like F sharp minor prelude, and also the studies, the C sharp minor opus 10 number 4. So to be honest, I would love, if I would have a chance to get into a time machine and go back, I would love to be there in 1927 listening to Shostakovich playing at the Chopin competition. Well, at the competition, he unfortunately got quite sick in the beginning as he arrived, and yeah, well, he won the honorable mention in the competition. The winner was Lev Aborin, but however, as Shostakovich came back from Warsaw he came back home to Moscow, he performed a lot, and was very much interested also in composing piano music. Well, one of my favorite pieces by Shostakovich is Piano Sonata number 1, which is absolute outstanding example of Russian avant-garde of the 2020s. So it's absolutely amazing piece. You will actually, I would never, if I wouldn't know that this is Shostakovich, I would never think of him composing in this style. But already there is a very clear link to the Baroque music, or to Bach, some Bach-like ideas, of course, of contrapoint. And I think that also the Preludes Opus 34, which were composed just a couple of years later, in 1933, they're already, I think, they're already somehow let's say they are forerunners, especially some of them are forerunners for the big cycle of Preludes and Fugues, Opus 87. So now I would like to just explain you share some ideas why I decided to play some of those preludes tonight, and I think that one of the first documented fugues composed by Shostakovich is the Prelude in E minor. So I have chosen 4 preludes which have all completely different characters. So the E minor prelude is a fugue in 3 voices. It's composed in 5/4 bar, which is quite unusual and rare. But the interesting fact about this prelude is that it is already foreseeing the diatonic scale of fugues, of some of fugues which Shostakovich will be using later. So it means that so this is the subject. And every other subject, what I mean with the diatonic scale, every other subject means that the tonality, the subject is not translated into the tonality of the answer, but it remains in the same diatonic scale as the very first subject is. And this principle is very Shostakovich. I think this is something of his special musical language, and he remains very faithful to this principle in many preludes and in many other pieces, not only in preludes and fugues. So there is only one outbreak into another tonality, which is A flat major in the end, and that's the only one. So it's a very far tonality, A flat major, from the E minor. The other prelude I have chosen today is B flat minor. It's a very grotesque march, in my opinion. So it's actually starts very serious. It's a kind of march, but very soon you hear that something is not. It's maybe I see some kind of maybe toy soldiers there, because it gets very ironical quite soon, and it's so this combination of different messages within one piece for me is something very typical for Shostakovich. Another prelude I will perform for you is the C sharp minor, again C sharp minor. It's a very simple melody, which is Shostakovich also he's very clear in his indications. He also says temperature. So it's actually very simple, but also here he changes the characters every bars. So for instance, it's always a kind of, I don't know, somehow it's very unpredictable what is happening in this music, and really with a great contrast. Although most of the preludes are very short, just sometimes 2 pages, so it's really great artistry, which I think Shostakovich already shows here. And the last piece in D flat major is a very joyful, very nice. So they are all contrasting pieces, and yeah, I'm very happy that yes, I will perform these 4 preludes from Opus 34 by Shostakovich, starting with the E minor prelude, which is a 3-part fugue, and already a kind of forerunner of polyphonic style of later Shostakovich. So please enjoy. So that was some Preludes Opus 34 by Dmitri Shostakovich. Yes, it's very, I don't know, it makes such a, it's for the performer also, it's a great contrast which you have to be aware of once you perform this music, and I like this kind of contrast very much. And yeah, but basically, of course, Shostakovich is one of the giants of 20th century, of course, also with a very difficult fate in a way. And yeah, it's just so wonderful that I would wish, to be honest, that there would be more pieces by him for piano. But anyway, I'm very happy that we have the piano sonatas, we have the first piano sonata, we have 2 piano concertos, and of course the Preludes and Fugues. And to yeah, it's it is in a way, of course, for me also very inspiring to yes, to also now to see the Preludes and Fugues Opus 87 also from some of the new perspective. So it is, maybe one day I would work on the Opus 87 Preludes and Fugues. Ben is saying about that this music is closer to Prokofiev than usual. Actually, by the way, that's a great observation, because the last prelude, the D minor prelude, Opus 34, is in a way also it's not a quotation from the Prokofiev's First Symphony, but in a way it somehow can be heard also as an answer of Shostakovich to Prokofiev, to his older colleague. Yes, the Shostakovich opera, one of the most interesting, for me, experiences also once I was learning the piano sonata Opus 12 was the opera Nose. And of course it is, yes, Shostakovich music also, from this period is really very, very progressive, is very exciting, very inspiring, and it's just so much pieces which are really somehow connected with each other, and some pieces coming from particular periods. For me, it was very helpful to listen to the Nose as I was learning the piano sonata, because it gave me a kind of different understanding also of the music he was composing during that period. So thank you so much for being here tonight, and I wish you a good week. I wish you all well, keep well, and see you next week. Bye bye.